it's none of my business. You guys are grown men, you'll figure it out. But it was the things that you called him that we should address.
Exactly.
So I don't even know what to say. I've
Here's,
never had these conversations before. So if you just want to talk about it, a lot of the F word was used, which is horrible, and as well as comments about up the ass and my bitch and that kind of stuff. So
right.
so
I can address Tyler Maine first if you'd like.
sure.
Okay. And this is no excuse, believe me. I'm the furthest away from making excuses at all. But this happened years ago, and he had happened to say, it started by him saying something derogatory about me to a fan at a convention that we were both doing. And the fan came over to me, and I thought the fan was joking. But the fan was dead serious and said, no, I promise you, I would never come over and tell you something that's not true just to make you laugh or whatever, or make a joke because it's not funny. And so that's where it started, this beef that him and I have had. We weren't unfriendly to each other before that. We just weren't like buddies or anything like that. We just weren't, unfriendly to each other. But this is what started. And my mistake was...
Well, your mistake was probably just reacting to it at all.
Well, my mistake is my anger,
Yeah.
And that's my mistake. It's always been my mistake in my whole life. And using that word, I don't know. People are never going to know how terrible I feel about this. We'll never, and I don't want anybody to, because I've been going through a terrible time about this, and it's not me. I'm not even homophobic. My daughter is gay. She'll be 16 September 1st. So
do people know that? Nobody knows that, do they?
No, because I never bring up my kids. I don't like to bring up my kids. I mean, the first time I brought my daughter to a convention in Chicago just a few months ago, and she actually showed up in the room, and I had her come up on stage. But I never do that because I want to protect them also.
Of course, I understand.
Right. So,
you're not. So you're not homophobic.
I'm not homophobic.
Apologize, because as you know, LGBTQ community is like huge fans of the Halloween franchise and of ours, and are the most amazing, and are fans of yours and supporters, and we're extremely hurt by that. And good to know that you're how you feel about it. That's not who you are.
Apologize to them, and Danielle, here's the thing. It's like, I'm not apologizing so people will forgive me. Yeah. Do I want people to forgive me? Of course. Absolutely. Because everybody makes mistakes, but mine was a pretty bad, terrible mistake. It was bad. How I grew up was a whole different way of language you use, all that stuff, and the slang and all that, and terrible words now. And I'm not here on earth to make people unhappy. I just don't want that. I just don't want it. I'm really distraught about this whole thing.
But sometimes an apology goes a long way.
Yeah. And how deeply sorry I feel, nobody's ever going to know how bad I feel, because there's very few people that can be as stupid as me and say shit like that out loud, out of anger, because I couldn't control my anger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how I feel, I mean, I have to live with, I hope my daughter doesn't see it, because and I hope, and if she does, I hope she forgives me.
Well, maybe you should just have a conversation with her first.
For sure. And the shame I felt, you have no idea. You have no idea. The first person that contacted me, because he knows me very, very well, is James Lurgio in Salem. He owns a place called Count Orlocks. And he says, look at, he goes, I've known you for years. You've done my appearance at my place year after year for like 11 years now. But dude, did you see this video that's out and with the language you were using? And he goes, and I know you're not homophobic, but you use these words. And I
Yeah.
think it's, and he was being a friend to me because he knows me, you know? The saying I'm apologetic is like it's not even how deeply I feel about this. I mean, the sorrow and the shame I feel, I hope nobody ever gets to feel the way I feel because it's terrible. It's terrible. And
Listen, so I want you, I don't want to cut you off, but I just don't want you to get yourself down, well, go down a rabbit hole. But I know you didn't want to read any of the comments on the page, but I just want you to know that people are accepting your apology and just saying like they forgive you. It's time to move on, and that everybody deserves a second chance, and just apologize, and then we move on from it.
Okay, all right.
So that's it.
Okay. And I apologize also for the comments I made about Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter. And I'm not going to go deeply into that, but I had no right to say any of that publicly. I watched my little sister get destroyed by Hollywood.
Yeah.
What did I do out of being smart aleck and like nonchalant and all that? That's what I did, and I can't believe I did it. And I want to put an apology to the fans that I said that out loud.
But you don't have proof of any of that stuff either.
No, I don't.
So you're sometimes we try to like be
Think we know more than we right.
At somebody else's expense, and it's yeah.
Yep.
So you have
years ago, but I did it. I said it. It was years, but I said it. 10 years ago or something, but I said it. Yes.
Okay, and so that's no proof that Jamie Lee Curtis was doing that, and it's
none whatsoever.
And what about let's talk about the John Carpenter.
Okay, well,
Deborah Hill.
Yeah, I didn't know they were dating at the time when I filmed, but she wore sunglasses inside the house, and I could see the rim around the rim of the black eye, and I saw it, and then I found out later that they were dating, and that's but I have no proof. That I even said, I said, look, I don't know, my gut immediately told me something, not because I wanted to believe it, but just my gut told me. I grew up severely abused by my father. So I kind of know some stuff, but do I have proof? No, absolutely not. But it hit me pretty hard, like in a clear way. And I was like, and I said it. And I have a problem about it. I have a problem about people being abused. I just have a problem with it.
Yeah. But we don't, I mean.
I have no proof.
She could have had her nose done. Like so women wear sunglasses inside all the time.
With just one eye, right? It was her right eye.
So there's yeah.
No.
I mean, you don't want anyone saying that stuff about you. No. Imagine if someone said that you did that and you didn't, how horrible that would be for someone to hear. So, you never. Just you and I talking now. What's your beef with Rob Zombie's Halloweens, dude? What do you mean you won't see Rob Zombie's Halloween? Good those movies are,
and I'm a
how great it is.
I'm a huge fan of his music. I even have been to his concert.
What the hell? Why won't you?
I know. I'm a snob though about it.
Of what? How are you?
Well,
you know how good those movies are?
Danny, look at. I mean, I think I've watched my movie 4 times maybe or 5 times, only because I can't stand watching myself, And
only in it for 30 seconds.
I know, but even that, I can't stand it. I just can't. I can't, And like Rob Zombie, he wanted to do a remake of a beautiful movie, And I'm a snob about it, What I don't feel ashamed of. Okay.
Yeah, but that's like every other.
I didn't put it down.
A movie that you don't even know what it
I know.
entails
I know.
about.
I know.
It's
I
really
know.
good.
I know. I know that's some people say that. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
go see it, watch it, and you'll be like, wow, that was actually really good, and he did a really
Well,
good job.
his movies and his music, maybe you're right, you know. And
I
you
know
and
I'm
you're
right.
what
But
you're a
her
really good
in the
salesman
movie.
right now. You're really being a good salesman right now.
Well, I'll go down a list of movies that I think I've done that are shit, and this is definitely not one of them.
No, I didn't think it was shit. It was a remake, you know. When I'm being a snob, Danielle. I admit it. I admit it. I haven't liked. I'm not trying to skirt the issue. It's strictly from being a snob. But okay. I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll watch it when I get back home. I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'll watch it this week, as a matter of fact, and I'll
Okay.
text or comment or something.
And I bet you'll like it.
I'll bet you I will, and I'll be pissed off. I probably like
That's
it.
right. Like so many other fans that didn't want to go see it because they were boycotting it, and then they ended up liking it.
Yeah. Well, Scott, he loves it. He thinks it's great, you know. And I
Then
love Scott. You know, he's my boy.
what? Oh, hey. Well, how about this? Why don't you watch it with me?
Oh, I would do that for sure.
Or
For
you're
sure.
in LA, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you when I get home, and we're gonna watch it live together. Because I
Okay.
have a show that I do called
Oh, you
Common
do?
Terror. I have a show called Common Terror where I sit down with my friends and we watch horror movies
And
together.
you're
Like I sat down with
oh,
Kane and we watched Friday. I've sat down with Dee, watched Cujo. Every one of my friends that have these big movies that I hadn't seen, we sit down and we watch them together, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So I would love to sit down and watch Rob Zombie's Halloween with you.
I'd be honored to. I'd be honored. I can't believe you're even asking me.
Yeah, it would be cool.
So
I'm curious to
it's so
see
cool.
how you really, when you don't have time to think about it, when you just are being in the moment. I want to see what you really think about it. And
Well,
listen,
I'll be curious.
you could think it's shit, and just as long as you're truthful about it, I don't care.
Sure.
You don't have to like it.
Right. I'm curious. I'll be curious to see it. I'll be curious now. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'd rather.
I'm home for like 3 days this whole month, so I will have you over and we can watch it together. And then okay, let me see. I want to make sure that I've got everything addressed before I let you go. Um, do. Let's see. I think that am I forgetting anything you want to talk about? I'm just trying to write stuff because oh, Shatner. How do you know William Shatner doesn't acknowledge Halloween or won't sign stuff?
Well, what I was told at a convention that he was at with me by the promoter said that he won't. This was years and years and years ago, though, that he would not sign the mask. That's what
He
I was.
won't sign the mask, but he'll take pictures with it and all that. I saw
I
that
don't
on
know.
there.
The promoter just told me that he was angry because Shatner wouldn't sign the mask.
Mm.
But that was years ago. That must have been God. That could have been like 11 or 12 years ago. You know. I don't know how he is now. I'm not putting him down or anything. I'm just saying what the promoter told me.
I think lesson learned is telephone is a horrible game to play.
What's that?
Telephone is a horrible game to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Because shit gets misconstrued, and anyway.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
let's see. I think I don't know. I just wanna make sure I got everything. Like I said, most importantly, it was clearing up that you had no proof, nothing, just saying you're sorry about what you said about Jamie Lee. And listen, if she was sleeping with everybody, more fucking power to her. You go,
Sure.
girl. Like,
No, I didn't. I wasn't putting her down about it.
you do you,
Yeah, I wasn't putting her down about it. She's the most down to earth person you ever want. At least when she was filming when I was there filming with her, she was the most down to earth person I ever met in that industry. Because most people, Danielle, aren't, and you know this.
Yeah.
And she was just so down to earth. It was so cool, And she just
I've never met her before,
oh, you
so
have never. Oh, I don't know how she is now. I have no idea.
I
But
have heard nothing but wonderful things
okay,
from
yeah,
everybody.
and
So
she has
I
to be.
hope to, my goal is to work with her one day. So
Yeah, she would have to be. She does children's books, I mean, that's so cool.
yeah.
And she doesn't want money for autographs. She takes that money towards her
For
charity.
charity, yeah. No, she's
That's
great.
so cool. But when I met her, she was just the most down to earth person I ever met, you know. And I haven't, you know, those, like I said, those were comments I made a long time ago, and I realized back, you know, I I don't make those comments anymore because I know the mistake I made. I stopped that years ago, but I did do it, and it's shameful, really shameful of me, and I know it, and I got to live with it, and that's just the way it goes. No matter how many people feel better now, which I hope every single person feels better now that by you and I doing this, but and even if they do, I'm still not going to feel any better about what I did. You know what I mean? It's not going to make me feel any better about myself because it's shameful, shameful. I just hope that the fans and the gay community and all that, they just go, cool, you know, okay, he apologized, you know, because
That's it. That's all you can do
it
is
deeply hurt,
apologize and then change your ways, you know.
and I mean it, you know, and so and if they forgive me, they forgive me, but I'm not. That's not why I'm doing this. It's not about being forgiven. That's I want to, but that's not the number one thing.
Forgive yourself and
And that exactly, and
be better. That's all.
it's been a real bitch. Let me tell you, but it's my fault. I'm paying a price for it.
Well, we live and we learn. Like I said when I saw you the other day, you know, people grow from things like this, and I appreciate you wanting to talk about it with me. So,
Yeah, it's nice not to carry around the a pseudo hard ass guy sometimes too.
well, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know you that well, but I know a really soft, lovely side of you. So, um, I would like to see more of that guy, you know, than the other guy, because life is short, you know. We don't need to carry all that heaviness around with us.
Right.
So
I completely agree. I completely agree. If we keep talking about this, I'm going to start crying again, and I don't want to do that.
don't cry. Don't cry. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go get some barbecue. Have the conversation with your daughter before she sees everything. And we move on. Tomorrow's a new day. And people will accept your apology or not. And that's, you can only lead the horse to water and you can't make them drink. So it is what it is. I'm just trying to be objective. You know, I get all sides of it. So I'm just the messenger.
And I got no problem carrying this burden in this way. I got no problem with it. It's mine, and I own it, 100%.
We
But
make mistakes, and
I'm just not that person anymore.
good. That's good to hear. All right, Tony. I will call you. Everyone, people are saying that they accept your apology. So I just want you to know that. So, you know, some won't and some will. So it is what it is. But
Appreciate it.
time to heal, and hopefully everybody that was offended will be okay with this apology, and that's really it. So I'm signing off on this Monday, and I think I'm just gonna go back to bed.
Good for you. Hey, good luck with your
Before
filming.
I work, before I have to get bloody tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck.
Woohoo!
Good luck with your filming.
Thanks, Tony. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Bye, Tony.
Bye.